This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
U.S. clean energy startups are booming as oil companies are giving them more attention and cash in a bid to speed up their own green transitions. Investors want oil producers to accelerate a move away from fossil fuels by selling cleaner energy and developing technology to eliminate climate-warming gases. Entrepreneurs proposing to harness energy from offshore wind and waves, generate hydrogen from waste gas and build fuel storage networks from old wells are attracting attention from big oil. Oil companies are often partnering with and investing in new enterprises that have started at clean energy incubators.
Oil prices jumped 2% on Tuesday, with Brent futures hitting a three-year high while U.S. crude hit its highest since 2014 after the OPEC Plus group of producers stuck to its planned output increase rather than pumping even more crude. OPEC Plus agreed in July to boost output by 400,000 barrels per day, BPD, each month until at least April 2022 to phase out 5.8 million barrels of oil per day of existing production cuts. Brent crude was up $1.60, or 2%, at $82.86 a barrel by 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, 15:06 GMT, having risen 2.5% on Monday. U.S. West Texas Intermediate oil rose $1.56, or 2%, to $79.18, after gaining 2.3% in the previous session.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
The world's top miners on Tuesday committed to a goal of net zero direct and indirect carbon emissions by 2050 or sooner, the International Council on Mining and Metals, ICMM, said. ICMM members' collective commitment to net zero Scope 1, direct, and 2, indirect greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 is a pivotal moment in our history, CEO Rohitesh Dhawan said in an open letter signed by the 28 chiefs of the world's largest miners. The announcement comes before next month's UN climate gathering that aims to achieve more ambitious climate action from the nearly 200 countries that signed the 2015 Paris Agreement to limit global warming.
The European Commission is looking into complaints by some EU countries that Russia is using its position as a major supplier to propel the soaring price of gas in Europe, the bloc's energy policy chief said on Tuesday. Russian supplier Gazprom has been fulfilling its sales obligations under long-term contracts but not adding more. That has drawn accusations by European Union lawmakers that it is pushing up gas prices in Europe, which have surged to record highs amid tight supply and other factors. We are looking into this claim, together with Executive Vice President Vestager, who is responsible for competition rules, because it is of course a very serious matter, European Energy Commissioner Kadri Simpson told Reuters, referring to EU antitrust chief Margrethe Vestager. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. The premium for aluminium shipments to Japanese buyers for October to December was set at $220 a ton, up 19% from the previous quarter, reflecting higher overseas premiums amid tight supply, 6 sources directly involved in pricing talks said. The figure is higher than the $185 per ton paid in the July to September quarter and marks a 5th consecutive quarterly increase and the highest since the April to June quarter in 2015. But it came below the initial offers of $230 to $250 made by producers. Japan is Asia's biggest importer of the light metal and the premiums for primary metal shipments it agrees to pay each quarter over the benchmark London Metal Exchange, LME, cash price set the benchmark for the region.
Copper prices buckled under a stronger dollar on Tuesday ahead of key U.S. payroll data later this week and on lingering concerns over the fate of China Evergrande. The U.S. dollar edged toward a one-year high against major peers, making greenback-priced metals more expensive to holders of other currencies, in anticipation of Friday's non-farm payrolls data which is expected to give the Federal Reserve ammunition to start unwinding its easy monetary policy soon. Worries over defaults at Chinese property developers and the potential impact on metals demand grew on Tuesday, amid fresh credit rating downgrades and uncertainty about the fate of China Evergrande.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
The world sugar supply balance is expected to improve in the 2021-22 season that started this month due to higher production in Asia and Europe, which will partially offset another poor year in Brazil, broker StoneX said in a report on Tuesday. Despite the improvement, the season will still see demand surpassing production for the third consecutive year, the report said, projecting a supply deficit of 800,000 tons in 2021-22 compared to a deficit of 2.9 million tons in 2020-21, meaning stocks will continue to decrease. Thailand's sugar production is seen jumping 39% in the new season to 10.5 million tons, while India is expected to have another large crop at 31.5 million tons, 2% more than the previous, due to overall favorable weather conditions in Asia.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.